Hey, this is the Magic Man, and you're watching my homeboy, Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Rose.
Up, dog.
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
Together we're Jalen Jacoby. What is it that we do?
We give the people what they want.
Jalen, every single day, it seems like we're taking another baby step closer to NBA basketball coming back. The latest is that Adam Silver, it is reported, will give sort of the rules and the guidance for a return for teams to gather together and practice. That's expected on June 1st. Jalen, what do you think about this announcement?
Terrific leader, Adam Silver of the NBA. And I like that we're making progress towards hoping to get players and organizations back functioning so that ultimately we can see NBA basketball. I want people to understand, while I believe some states have loosened restrictions really early, I think for NBA players and sports in itself, if we can get them back up and running, even without fans, Jacoby, it is worth it.
Absolutely.
Find a way to make it happen. It is worth it.
Well, just to sort of, to detail exactly how this is supposed to work is teams will get together in their practice facilities, have some practices, and then at some point there's going to be a travel to a bubble, which has been reported as Orlando or potentially Las Vegas. And inside this bubble is where the games will actually happen, obviously not in front of fans. Jalen, there's also some guidelines about the bubble. Players are not supposed to go in and out, but Jared Dudley recently said that he would be allowed to go in and out of the bubble, but not stars like LeBron and AD. What do you think about the bubble policies?
So here's what I think about the bubble policy. How many teams is that? Is it the 30 NBA teams? Is it 16 teams that are going to make the playoffs? Will we have time to finish the regular season? Those are all questions that are still up in the air as it amounts to numbers. But being in a bubble, Jacoby, with people who have millions and franchises that are worth billions is a lot different. It's not going to be 15 guys in a one-bedroom apartment. They'll be just fine. They'll be just fine. I promise you.
I think they'll be taken care of.
And for the best players, they make the rules. And the rules are going to be everybody need to stay. That's going to be the rule. I don't care what's said in a press conference. Adam Silver doesn't have to say it. A coach doesn't have to say it. Playoff teams with leadership are going to make sure all 15 of their guys stay in the bubble until they get eliminated or win it all.
Yes, I would say both of the venues they're discussing, both Las Vegas and Orlando, have plenty of hotel accommodations to make these players and the staff comfortable. I think one question you asked is, what does it look like? Did all 30 teams come back, or the 16 playoff teams? There's also a little bit of discussion about a play-in tournament, and I kind of love this idea, and I think it should look like this, like 7, 8, 9, and 10 currently right now play basically a 4-team tournament to get the 7th and 8th spots in the playoffs, and then they join 1 through 6 in a traditional playoff format. What do you think about that?
I really like it, and here's why. 7 and 8 may think that's unfair, but guess what? You guys didn't finish the season. It's still about 20 games left, so anything could have happened, including injuries. Also, you want to engage more fan bases as possible. So now 7 through 10 is engaged. But those should be the only squads, Jacoby. We're only talking about 20 teams, in my opinion, playing basketball. For the lower 10, the lower third of the league, their season's over. Their seasons could be over. We don't want to see them, by the way. Hey, Adam, we don't want to see 10 of the teams for sure.
We're good.
Okay,
we're good.
We're good.
I saw footage of Kevin Love at the Cavs facility. I was like, shout out to you for getting your shots up, Kevin Love, but I don't know what you're doing there because y'all ain't coming back to play. You know the teams like the Hawks and the Warriors and the Cavs, like those teams you will not see play in this bubble environment. I'm almost positive of that. I'm almost positive. So, Jalen, do you know one of the reasons I love this 7, 8, 9, 10 play-in tournament thing? Because in the West, we could potentially have Zion versus Ja. I just want Zion versus Ja. Anytime we can get a Zion versus Ja, I'm all for it. Because the Eastern Conference 7 through 10 won't be as intriguing, but I think the Western Conference 7 through 10 would be something I would be very, very interested in if they go that route. And again, I just made up the 7 through 10 thing. This has not been reported. But if they go a route with some sort of play-in tournament, Do you think there will be regular season games before that to warm up, or just like exhibition warm-up games?
It's all about timing. The more time you have a normal training camp where guys get a chance to come in for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you try to play some exhibition games and or finish some regular season games, 5 or 10 of them probably, up to 10. But then as the time compresses, your options get shortened. And I love your 7 through 10 play-in. That engages 20 fan bases, 20 NBA teams, and it creates a level of surprise that what's going to happen if the Blazers are healthy? What's going to happen if Philly is healthy? Who's going to be playing at their apex? All types of crazy things could take place in that scenario. But again, those final 10 teams, those lower thirds, we don't want to see y'all this year. We don't want to see y'all this year. No. Congratulations. And I hate to do whatever you got to do, but we'll see y'all next season.
I hate to be negative, Jacoby, about this, but this whole proposal is just so tenuous because all it takes is a couple positive tests, and then one person spreads it around to one team, and then all of a sudden this whole bubble idea kind of falls apart. But you know what? I have high hopes. I want to see NBA basketball come back. I want to hear the squeaking shoes and watch the scores, and I cannot wait. We'll see what happens next. But now we have some very important news that matters. Jalen, serious scientists, astrologists, some of the best minds in the world at NASA say they have found evidence of a parallel universe, just like ours, except time runs backward. Now, I know that you've studied this topic intensely. You've read all of the research on it. So I want you to explain to our viewers exactly what that means when there is a parallel universe where time runs backwards.
So usually that means if today is Thursday, you would spell it backwards. Same thing with time. It goes backwards. NASA also, Jacoby, and correct me if I'm wrong, really confirmed that this wasn't true. But either way, I think everything that's sorted in my brain is happening backwards by the time it comes out of my mouth. I've always felt like
here we have an image of you. See, that's you in the future, old you. And then there's young you in the parallel universe going backwards. And I can't really tell which one of those two Jalens I want to hang out with more. But I think this Jalen that I have in front of me is probably the ideal Jalen because neither of those Jalens are going to be as much fun as this one for very, very different reasons. When we come back, we're going to do something we rarely do. Argue over a list that ESPN put out. Stay tuned. See what that is.
So unprofessional.
2 minutes. We're back.
Though we're apart these days, we're sharing more. So at Geico, we'd like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your savage dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Thanks for sharing your inner lip sync star. Now it's our turn to share with the Geico Give Back. A 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. Because we're committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for more info and eligibility.
Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, ESPN has put out their top 5 players of the Western Conference franchises, and one of them stood head and shoulders above the others, and that was the Los Angeles Lakers. Magic, Jerry West, Kobe, Kareem, Shaquille. Jalen, question for you is, what would LeBron James have to do in the purple and gold to replace one of those legends?
That's arguably the toughest top 5 to crack. Because if you look at that list, 4 of those guys are amongst the 10 best players to ever do it, basically on anybody's list. And the 5th guy is the logo of the NBA in Jerry West. Just think about that. And so many people would be like, LeBron should be on there right now. No, he shouldn't. In order to crack the Lakers, you got to do some special things in purple and gold. For me, he would have to win 2 championships in order to crack that top 5 in Laker lore. As far as passing Magic Johnson on the top 5, he has to win 1 more, in my opinion.
Interesting. Well, Jalen, I had a different list. I actually did this exercise myself. And if you take a look at my selections, a lot of people forget that some legends wore the purple and gold. Steve Nash, Lance Stevenson, Ron Artest, Karl Malone. People forget Karl Malone's a Laker. And, of course, Jack Nicholson. What do you think about my top 5 all time for the Lakers?
I like your list. You represented New York City to the fullest. You so East
Absolutely.
Coast. You got Ron Artest on there. You got your guy Lance on there.
We have an important update on a story that we've been covering with journalistic vigor, and that, of course, is Pizzagate. The update that we have now on the flu game Pizzagate is this: Tim Grover, Michael's trainer, said that after the supposed food poisoning of the pizza, that when they would go out and eat dinner, that Michael Jordan would insist that everyone there order the same thing he orders, and they would switch plates to sort of avoid something like that happening in the future. Before I ask you a question, I want to say this. If I am part of anybody's entourage, there is no one who is so important to me in my life that I care about so much that I will allow them to dictate what I order at a restaurant. I'm not rocking with this no matter what, no matter who you are. Jalen, what do you think of this policy?
Don't understand how a staff works and entourage works. Shout to Tim Grover, who I've worked out with. Shout to David Falk, who was also my agent. They were on MJ's staff, Jacoby, and everybody wanted to make sure that he was healthy and able to perform at an optimum level. It's a sacrifice you make for the team.
Way. I'm not making that sacrifice.
Just a die-easy fan that's not loyal to barbers. That's just your personality.
No, if Jordan says that we all have to get what he gets, I'm like, no. How about you tell me what you want and I'll order that, and then I'll tell you what I want and you order that. Like, there's other ways to do this. What if, you know what I mean? He's just like,
what difference do it make? Let me.
Right, because I don't want to eat whatever Michael Jordan eats. I don't care. I don't want Michael Jordan to dictate what I'm having for dinner. I'm not eating with Michael Jordan if that's the case. It's that simple. There's no amount of money in the world that you can pay me to make me eat things I don't want to eat.
You're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point. First off, you know that if you ain't paying attention, he might spit on the food. First off. So you got to be paying attention. Next, he picking up the check. You can order whatever you want. You know how many times I done sat at dinners and watched people that were my friends and family order stuff they would never order if they was paying for it? You can order whatever you want. So if that's what it is, go ahead and order him whatever he wants and still eat whatever you want.
Jalen, do you know how many times that we have gone to lunch and you've ordered food, not just for yourself, but also food for your friends and family and food to go, and then just gave me a pound and left me with the bill? It's happened more times than you think, and you're rich. Come on, Jay. Well, Jalen, we will see some NBA action, I believe, soon, but we do have some NBA players playing some serious basketball to get warmed up. Here we have DeJounte Murray, who just sort of like saw some kids playing hoops in the driveway and decided to join them. But why he beasts all over these kids? What do you think about DeJounte's way to get ready for the bubble environment?
Oh, he giving the people what they want.
Yes.
I love those environments when you out there and you dominant Wilt Chamberlain style playing in the backyard, playing with some youngsters, because a lot of times they don't understand what it takes, Jacoby. They think they're going hard with their dribbling moves. They think they're going strong to the bucket. They think they're a good finisher. They think they can shoot with some accuracy. Then every now and then, a high school player, a college player, a pro player shows up and teaches you that's a different level that you got to work to in order if you want to play this game for a living.
Mike Tyson sent Jalen a video and said, play this on Jalen and Jacoby, so we will. Right after this, just 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
You got to give the people time. Give the people what they want.
Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, just like it seems like every day we get closer and closer to the NBA coming back, and I'm not kidding, every day it seems like we're closer and closer to Mike Tyson actually boxing somebody in the squared circle. Look at this video that he sent to Jalen Rose. Jalen, why did he send you this video?
Because Mike is that deal, an all-time great and a legend, a friend of mine. And don't be surprised if it's some fight news that's breaking as it relates to Mike Tyson participating. And do not be surprised that we're going to be your update spot for all Tyson videos and news until we have
all
them come
Tyson
on the show
news
and
we will
after.
Cover. All Tyson news
all
we will cover.
Tyson news.
I'm obsessed with Mike Tyson because he blatantly disrespected me when he talked with T.I. Let's run that clip, Nestor.
But also, Tip and Mike. Mike and Tip.
I like that. Because I see Jalen Rose has his little guy with him, Jalen and Jacob.
Right.
Jacoby and Jalen.
I'm going to fight Mike Tyson. You know what? I'm going to fight Mike Tyson. I'm ready for the fight. I'm going to fight you, and I'll prove that I am not just Jalen's little guy. Jalen.
I'll tell you the only person that can fight Mike Tyson. This is the only person that can fight Mike Tyson.
Okay.
The only person.
Jalen, we also have some interesting footage from Instagram, not just of Mike Tyson, but of someone else who's soon going to return to action. Here we have Cam Newton. He's on Instagram. He's doing weird little workouts. He's also throwing to receivers, all in black and white for some reason. Jalen, very simple question. Why doesn't Cam Newton have a team right now?
So it disappoints me that squads like my Lions just don't take a flyer. But anyway, to be honest with you, it's because he's injured, Jacoby. And uniquely, based on what he's accomplished, unlike Jameis Winston, he's been an MVP. So he's not going to take a 1-year, $1 million contract to learn from Drew Brees. Cam Newton, if he's healthy, is a legitimate franchise quarterback. And if and when he gets healthy, I hope he ends up with the Patriots. I hope
he comes back. We will be back at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Right now, stay tuned because Dan Le Batard and Highly Questionable is next.
Thank you.
Jalen, you know what? I want to pat ourselves on the back. This is 4 days in a row we did pod exclusive because I felt bad when we were putting out those short podcasts. So we always want to give the people what they want. And Jalen, I have to talk to you about something. I was watching the show on ESPN. I think I'm going to get some makeup and start putting my own makeup on. You know, I think I'm going to do it.
Really?
I think I'm going to do it.
Man, you look great, fam.
Don't overthink it. You know what I mean? Got the bags under my eyes, waking up the kids. One day this week, Quincy woke up at 2. Between 2 and 5 in the morning, this dude is up. Talking, saying he has to go to the bathroom, popping out, trying to climb in bed. Makes me tired.
Don't do it. Because being on TV for so very long, fortunate to have this job and career, I realize that I'm really shiny. So in studio with the HD lights, I need a little powder so I'm not shiny. But at home, I never wear makeup. Because with my skin, it needs to breathe.
Your skin looks great. Quarantine is great for your skin, Jalen. Quarantine is great
it needs to breathe. Otherwise, when I'm wearing makeup, I get bumps.
Jay, let me talk to you about something. There's a part of me, and I've thought about this a lot, and we haven't discussed it yet. There's a part of me that thinks I might never see you again. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a part of me that's just like, you're just getting used to working from home. You can go up on Get Up, go up on First Take. JJ, you look good. You got your own little background. There's a little part of me that's like, I'm never going to see this guy again. Yo, for real. Like, you just got to make up every excuse you can to not come to the studio.
Let me tell you what's crazy. Remember what I was doing the final weekend of the NBA season before it got canceled. Flew to LA Thursday. Did J&J Friday. Did NBA Countdown. We had Lakers, Bucks. Lakers won. Playing really good basketball. Remember LeBron guarded Giannis on a couple of possessions.
Yeah, of course.
Posted up Giannis and scored a couple of times. Like he was really like, you know, trying to get me to consider him to be the MVP after that day. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe these last 20 games he gonna come for it. Saturday, flew to Golden State, Warriors, Sixers. Saw the new Chase Arena. It's amazing. Sunday, Lakers, Clippers, Jay-Z, Baby Blue, everybody at the game. ABC. And you know what I was doing all 3 of those days? Shaking hands, kissing babies, getting on and off airplanes, going in and out of hotels. And then the season got canceled 3 days later.
But I know you. You're
3
real
days
comfortable
later.
at your house. You're real comfortable at your house. I've seen you eating your little lunches that you get from the kitchen, making yourself food. You're never coming to the studio again because you got a little commute to get to the studio. So me, I got to get out the house. I got the kids around and stuff. There's no reason for you to get out the house. You know what? That's probably going to be the worst. No, it's not. I shouldn't say that. It's just going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be impossible to drag you out. You know what? I'm going to go to your house and start cutting some wires so your cameras don't work. That's what I'm going to do.
And then the other thing, people that produce television who were always leery of having people come on their shows, whether it was FaceTime or Skype, because they were so scared of it not being good or the quality dropping or something like that. Now that's the norm. You got to get over it now. It's going to happen.
It's the norm. But let's not act like there hasn't been any tech problems. I don't know if you've seen any of the Instagram lives. You know what I mean? It isn't exactly, foolproof seamless to have people on shows like that. And Jalen, you know what? We did something now that we haven't done for months and months.
Ooh.
We went into the voicemails. Big shout to Brianna. Brianna sent me some voicemails that she got from the people. We had some voicemails. So remember, we're going to put voicemails back in the pod exclusive. So if you call 985-80-JALEN, leave us a voicemail. Do it right now. Right now. Just push pause on the podcast, call 985-80-JALEN and hit us up. Because someone hit us up. It was an old friend of ours who was a big part of this program that disappeared for a while. We were concerned about him. But he's back. Ladies and gentlemen, the first voicemail is from Marvin from Perth.
What's happening? Just want.
I guess, told you technical difficulties.
Yo, Jalen Jacoby, it's Marvin from Perth. What's happening? Just wanted to know you guys' opinion on their current NBA season. So if a team wins a title this year, are they considered a great champion, or are they just considered a champion that's won on a season such as Tim Duncan's in '99, where there was less games than scheduled? So, yeah, let us know. Thank you.
So Marvin Perth wants to know, is there an asterisk on the eventual champion of the season should we crown one?
Great to have you back on the show, Marvin. We appreciate the support. It's because of people like you. We graduated to ESPN. Hopefully you watching the show, DVRing the show, and we're going to try to keep giving the people what they want. I want to give a quick hip-hop lesson before I answer his question about an asterisk for this year's title. The hip-hop lesson is I've been going deeper into the crates, and as a whack DJ, I wanted to acknowledge certain albums with my listening habits that I felt like got underrated.
Whoa. Wait. You got asked a question about this year having an asterisk and crowning a champion. And then you said, I went deeper in the crates and I want to acknowledge some albums that I've been listening to. God, I love you so much. Please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
I have so much range. I have so much range. And when his call started, I'm going to tell you what it sounded exactly like. Something that I was just listening to. We're going to play it for you. I guess I can't play it on the pod.
This is new.
But
phone tap from Nas?
Yeah. No.
Is that what it is?
It sounds just like him. It ain't.
Just like Marvin from Perth?
So that whosoever you motherfuckers believe.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Jalen? What are you doing? So this guy calls up and asks you a question about the champion.
Listen.
It reminds me of a song, and then you start cursing on the pod.
That's what it reminds me of. Watch this.
Okay.
Listen to it.
I'd rather not.
And so, remember when Sean did his album from jail, Godfather Buried Alive? That's a classic.
Of course.
That's what he sounded like. Because he did the song, for those that don't know, he did his album from jail. So he was on the phone.
Like Phone Tap from Nas was a classic from jail song as well. So Jalen, one thing that's it's really nice to hear is it's not just my questions that you completely ignore and talk about whatever you want.
No,
you know
I was about to get there, but
we're not.
It's kind of hard when the host all in the video, all interrupting my answer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was my fault. Oh, you know what? That was my fault. That was an absolutely coherent, clear answer to his question, but it was my fault. You
were wrong because you thought I was getting off topic. You tried to clown me because I went to what album did that remind me of and why did that relate to his call? And then I was trying to tell you it reminded me of Shine's album that I had just been listening to.
Makes perfect sense. Jalen, we have another.
And no, there won't be an asterisk. No, there won't be an asterisk because everybody knows this a unique circumstance. And
also like
we would be so
99.
very happy. Hey, dang, man. Can I finish my answer?
No, I don't want. I'm not really interested in listening to you. That's why. I'm not really listening.
All in the video.
Trying to get to this next call. Trying to get to the next call.
All right, go ahead. You ain't even listening. You're just looking at your phone. Go ahead, man.
This is Nathan from the 512, Austin, Texas. Shout out the whole virtual crew. I got a quick cultural, regional, or universal for you. Don't get fired topic of the day. As you know, in quarantine, people should not be hooking up with partners that are not consistent of their own, should not be associating with people that they might not be with on a usual basis, establishing that social circle, et cetera, et cetera. So many sites and stores online have run out of, what should we call them, intimate toys? And these intimate toys are no longer available anywhere online, apparently, I've heard in the news. So, got a question for you guys. Intimate toys. Cultural, regional, universal, none of the above. Holla. Peace.
Okay, big shout out to Nathan from Austin. He wants to know if intimate toys are cultural, regional, or universal. I'm going universal on that one, Jay. What do you think?
I'm going to go international. No question about it.
Of course.
And I'll just say this. A couple of things came from his call that I want to acknowledge. Okay, I even wrote down some notes. So, in this era where, unfortunately, the coronavirus exists, and by the way, please take these as jokes. We're just entertainers. That's all. Pretend I'm standing on stage right now. You're at the Comedy Store. These are jokes. I know it's a pandemic. I'm not making fun of it. I know people have it. I know people have died from it. I know the severity of it. I just got to do a disclaimer because sometimes people just get so sensitive and emotional. But with that being said, Jacoby, there are a couple of distinctions of how I would behave during this period if I was married versus if I was single. And I just want to make sure I acknowledge the difference. If you're single out there and he or she don't look like they got it, it's okay to hook up with them. You remember those days?
They don't look like they got it. Yeah, of course. This was big in like the late 80s, early 90s. It was like, oh,
correct.
Yeah. They smell good, so they don't have it. Yeah, correct. They smell good. Yeah, they look like they shower a lot.
I remember an era where guys were getting, and people were catching gonorrhea, and then more serious, and herpes, and more serious things came like HIV and AIDS. And you know what people still were doing? Having unprotected sex.
Of course.
So you know what you're really saying. So what are you saying then? They don't look like they got it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look like they got it.
You know, because Manhattan's really changed since the quarantine happened. It's really gotten rid of like 60% of the people just left the city, right? So you could tell who's still here. And also there's no foot traffic. There's no strangers going to their offices or restaurants or bars. So it's like you see the people in your neighborhood a lot more. You know who is local to your block. Like you run into the same people like you never have before in Manhattan. And there are certain people in my neighborhood that I know are carriers. You know, like there's like when I'm out with the kids, like there are certain people in the neighborhood where I'm like, I'm crossing the street. We're not even going around him. Like we're not gonna go near that dude. He definitely got it. And there's other people where I'm just like, hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah, like there's some people I know are carrying their own, no mask. You know what I mean? Like not even nothing, shaking hands with people, giving hugs, hollering. I was walking by one time and this dude spit right in front of me. Just like straight up like just this dude spit in front of me. And I was like, what? Oh man. I was like, I definitely got it. I just got it. I know exactly who it was that gave it to me if I get it.
And here's where like it's unfortunate. So now all of a sudden people can't control when they sneeze. But when they do now, we're going to be looking at them like they're contagious.
Oh, Jay, here's another thing is the pollen has been especially bad this season, and I have spring allergies. So I'm sneezing all over the place. I'm sneezing all over the place. And when I'm sneezing, people look at me like I just shot them with a bazooka. You know what I mean?
It's so like mad at you. I came front. I told you I was on the airplane the other day, and somebody coughed. I looked at them like they just gave me AIDS. Like for real.
Throw them out the hatch. Throw them out the hatch. Open up the hatch. Throw them out. Put a parachute on them. Throw them out. Pull a cord. You'll live. You'll be fine. You'll get there eventually. Just not on this plane.
But
you know what happened to me, Jay? Let me tell you what happened to me. So I'm lucky enough to have a car, because we lived in LA before we moved here. Got to have a car in LA, moved here, expensive to park. So I go pick up the car, had a mask on, go pick up the car, gonna pick up the kids, drive around to pick up the kids and my wife. One of my daughters refuses to leave the house. Margot's not having it. She's 4 years old. She's throwing a tantrum. She's not leaving. There's no reason or whatever. She's just mad, right?
I'm at the crib.
I take my mask off. I take my mask off because I'm inside the car. I'm driving a car. I'm like, you know what? This is a closed environment. Windows are closed. I'm not going to infect anybody. But Margot's losing her mind. So I get out the car to go get Margot in the car to give my wife some help. And I'm picking up Margot. She's kicking and screaming. And this woman walks by, curses at me for not having a mask on. She's like, where's your mask? And you have a child. You should have a mask on. It just shames me for not having a mask. I'm telling her, I'm like, first of all, I'm getting screamed at by my kids. So like, I don't need to get screamed at by you too, lady. But another thing is like, she doesn't know, like I have a mask and I wear a mask all the time. It just so happens that I didn't expect to need it because I expected to stay inside my vehicle and I was in an emergency situation because I was dealing with a tantrum, but she let me have it. And you know what? I felt shamed. I felt bad. But there was a part of me that was like, if you're so concerned about me not having a mask, why are you rolling up on me trying to holler at me? You know what I mean? Like, go somewhere else. Go away from me. Protect yourself.
Correct. Absolutely. And here's a line that I say to people, because as a public figure and as somebody that tries to carry a good karma, I'm still a taxpaying citizen. And every now and then I walk down the wrong aisle of a supermarket or, I probably do something random and then has a stranger kind of looking at me sideways or drive and accidentally cut somebody off or whatever. Here's a life trait. You will view life different if you focus on yourself. Don't worry about me. You know what I'm saying? Focus on yourself.
Yes.
Save that energy. Okay? Save that thought. Save that that emotion. Save it for yourself and your goals and what you're trying to get accomplished. Let me live. You know what I'm saying? I think that allows you to release a lot of stuff when you approach life like that.
Something happened today similar that made me feel like just little by little tiny little micro baby steps, things are getting back to normal because I was jogging with my mask on and this dude on a city bike like turned into me and tried to like basically almost like ram me over on a bike even though there's like no one around, there's no traffic. So you know what I did? I cursed at a stranger. It just felt good because that's just part of the New York City lifestyle. Once I cursed at this stranger, I was like, look at us. We're getting back. I was like, we're getting back. Look at me dropping the F-bomb at strangers. Look at us. We're back.
Middle finger.
New York is back. Yeah.
So a couple of things I want everybody to understand are kind of in the same category for the near future. Seatbelts, condoms, masks. They're in the same category.
Yeah.
Choose wisely.
Yes. One thing I don't understand about seatbelts is like, always wear my seatbelt when I'm in the car. Always. Never not wear a seatbelt, right? But if I'm on the bus, never. What are you talking about? Seatbelt? Why would I do that? If you ever been like a motorhome or like a tour bus, I'm not putting a seatbelt on in that thing. Too comfortable, too nice. I'm lying down in a bed. Like, it's weird how some environments you wear a seatbelt mandatory. Some environments you would never think of doing it ever, like in a cab. Never do it in a cab. Never.
Absolutely. And let me take it a step further. We look down at our phones at an app called Uber, and we trust strangers to drive us around all of the time.
All the time.
And you're not wearing a seatbelt. And you're not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, but if I'm driving myself, definitely put a seatbelt on.
But you drive yourself, you have on a seatbelt.
Of course. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. Like, this cab driver who drives more aggressive and faster and more inappropriate than any other style of driver on the road. When I get in that car, no seatbelt. But when I get in my car, when I'm a very safe and slow driver, seatbelt for sure. Like, there's so many little hypocrisies in our lives, but that is just one of the many. Jalen, I'm so glad we got to give the people what they want with the podcast exclusive. Don't forget to call 985-80-JALEN. Leave us voicemails. We're reincorporating the voicemails into the show. Thank you so much to Marvin and
Jacoby, one last party question. One last party question.
Man.
One last party question. The people will appreciate me asking you this because this is how we started the show. You ready? It's a pandemic. You're quarantined at home.
Yeah.
Do you and your wife have any sex toys?
Of course, dog. Been together 18 years.
Yes.
We got a whole floor dedicated to it. The kids can't get to. It's like 50 Shades of Grey right there. We got a whole floor they don't know about. We got a whole dungeon. If you pull a bookshelf, you pull a bookshelf on a book on the bookshelf, opens, ball spins like Jadakiss says. We got swings. We got a whole obstacle course, playground.
Let me tell you,
a couple people tied up in there.
Let me tell you, bachelors and bachelorettes, something. When you get in a serious relationship, okay, you don't throw out the Easter and the Christmas decorations. You put them in plastic tins and you keep them in the garage, the attic, or in the closet. That's the same with the sex toys, okay?
I think that we're going to wrap on this because this is definitely going to get us canceled. But one year, people think of sex toys are just for females. But one year, my wife got me one. That was dope. That was a dope experience. Didn't feel hygienic, but it was dope. Really enjoyed it. That's all I got to say about that. Jay, we'll be back tomorrow. Why is that?
I'm sure you took a shower before that. We're not done. We're not done. We
might be done.